Hi,
Oh, hello.
I'm Lindsey Janowiak.
Hi, Lindsay. I'm Janet Fredericksdorf.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too. I was just refreshing myself on your resume here and your CV, and you have quite a bit of education here, huh?
Yes,
Waterford. Where's Waterford?
it's in southeastern Wisconsin.
Okay. All right, I don't think I ever heard of that. Small town?
Yep,
All right. Ah. So you're still going to UWM, and you're going to be graduating this fall.
correct.
Okay. Oh my, you have a lot of science research under your belt.
Yep.
What made you go to switch over to communications?
Just to expedite the graduation process. I was having a hard time finding a niche in the sciences.
And what prompted you to apply for our opening?
I saw that it required people skills, and I love working around people and being friendly and trying to get projects accomplished as a team.
Good, good. So you do have some sales experience here at Blockbuster and at Sears.
Yep.
What did you do for Ryan International Airlines?
I worked as a gate agent
Okay.
where we would, hand out tickets and help customers make their flight reservations.
Ah, bet that wasn't the most fun job in the world. Did you come across a lot of angry passengers?
They're few and far between. Most of the time people are going on vacation. It was a charter company, so they were
Okay.
usually in a pretty good mood. There
Oh,
were a
that's
couple
good. That's a
instances, but
bonus. Great. And tell me about your most difficult position in sales.
I think the hardest one was the first one I ever had, which was for Cutco. I was selling cutlery, and I pretty much had to manage myself and the product, creating my own customer list and cold calling to get my sales, and it was 100% commission based. It was my first commission experience, so it took a lot of time to learn the ropes of selling and selling myself as well as the product.
And cold calling,
Yes.
too. That's scary.
Yeah.
How did you handle cold calls?
It was tricky at first, but I started with, I would address the customer, explain who I was and the reason I was calling. Sometimes they would get angry and hang up on you, but other times if you just started a conversation with them and slowly worked into pitching your product and setting up an appointment with them, it would work out better.
Great, great. How long did you do that?
I did that for 2 summers while I was in college.
And what made you stop doing that? Did you just get another position, or was it the sales that really you didn't care for?
I liked working for the company. It was a lot of work though because I had to drive from appointment to appointment. And living in Waterford, the office was over 45 minutes away, so it was just too much of a time commute for me.
Oh, okay. All right. And what do you think you can bring to the job? What are your skills and what's your experience that you'll be able to move into this position with?
Well, I'm highly motivated. I do like to keep busy all the time. I like change. I like working on different projects with different team members. I like being able to set goals and accomplish those goals.
Okay. What attracted you to the position?
I am a huge fan of music to begin with, so I thought it would be really awesome to be able to work side by side with the artists every day.
That's a bonus. Okay, and when you do come across that maybe belligerent customer or client, how do you handle that? Are you defensive, or do you try to how do you satisfy them or dispel the situation?
Well, it is human nature to become defensive when somebody comes at you with negative comments, but generally if you just step into their shoes and see where they're coming from and try to alleviate any issues or concerns, figure out what's going on and what they want. And I mean, you can't always make every single customer happy, but you can try to do your best to resolve any issues that they do have.
Okay, what about handling the demanding person? Are you intuitive, and once you get to know someone and their methods of operation, are you more likely to try to head off a problem at the pass, or if you think the request is unusual, would you be a little bit more reserved in handling it?
There are some unusual requests, and with my customer service experience, I've learned that you just need to try to figure out what's best for both the customer and the company. An example would be when I was working at Sears, we had a customer come in. She was interested in a ring. We didn't carry it in her size, so I offered to call the vendor and get it specially ordered in her size. When it came in, it was too big still, so we ended up taking the time to send it out to the local jeweler free of charge for her to have it sized down. It came back, and unfortunately it was too small now because the jeweler had made an error, and the customer became extremely frustrated because she really wanted the merchandise. So even though she was unable to get the ring, she was just so frustrated that even it was against company policy, but my manager had decided that it was the best situation to give her her money back, just to keep her as a happy customer for the future.
Right, right. Yeah, but that doesn't happen every day. The jeweler makes a mistake.
No, and it's unfortunate because she really wanted it.
Aw. And do you ever, how do you handle situations where you're in a time crunch, you have a deadline to meet, and you know you're not going to meet that deadline? What do you do?
Well, if it's a team project, there's ways to delegate certain pieces so that everybody's working on part of the project at once to complete it as a whole, so that maybe it'll be done on time, if not slightly past the deadline. But other times, if it means staying late or working extra hours, that's something I would definitely be willing to do.
Okay, so you try to meet the deadline at all costs?
Yeah. I usually try not to fall behind so that I'm not in that situation. I usually like to try to start things early, and if I run into problems, then I still have time to make room for that error.
Sure, sure. Okay, the position that we have open here, it is always in a state of flux. You're dealing with totally different personalities that all have different needs, and you may be, in a studio one day talking to somebody and at the airport the next day doing something. How do you feel about not having a rhythm in your job?
I love it. I don't like redundancy at all. I like being able to do something different. It broadens your experience within the company. It sets you up for more promotional opportunities. Just strictly networking. You can meet so many different people working in different places, whether it's the studio or the airport.
Right.
There's just so many opportunities.
Good. Now, do you have any questions for me?
I was just a little concerned about the relocation because I am in Wisconsin and the job is in Tennessee. So if I am accepted for the position, how would that work?
Well, we do have a corporate apartment that the job start date is June 1st.
Okay.
And if you don't find any housing before June 1st, we'll pay to move all your belongings down to Tennessee.
Okay.
You can take advantage of the corporate apartment. I think there's a rent involved. I'll have to check into the details once we make a final decision. But then I think you get 6 months to stay there.
And find my own
and
housing.
Find your own housing, right.
Okay, so
right.
It's not like I would just be coming down to Tennessee and being on
No,
the fly.
we won't make you live in the airport.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Is there anything else?
No, I think that covered everything.
Great. Well, thank you very much for your time, Lindsay, and we'll be getting back to you by the end of the week.
Okay, thank
Thank
you
you
so much. Nice
Bye
meeting
now.
you.
Nice to meet you too.